Welcome to your January 2024 prediction. So we're starting off here with the Ace of Compacts, which is the Ace of Pentacles in this deck. We also have the Six of Cups. Now these two cards here, I know they look like oracle cards, but they're actually tarot cards. So we have the Helper of Emotion. Romance blooms and you find yourself falling in love. Gifts of flowers, love letters, and poems read aloud are all in your future. Marriage proposals, weddings, and past life connections are possible. Someone new who is romantic, dreamy, and emotional may enter your life. This person could be an artist who's an idealist about love. And then we have Two of Emotion, so this is Two of Cups. A relationship grows closer as two people fall in love, or a current relationship grows much stronger. Friendships may deepen into a spiritual connection. Mutual respect and understanding exist or will develop. Don't give up on relationships that feel challenging to you. There's still hope. And then we have that feeling when the craving insists you've never eaten in your entire life once. This is actually my favorite card in this deck. I'm just giving you a quick overview of your cards before we get into all of it. We have Trust Your Intuition, she's always right. We have Set Your Intentions with Heart and Soul. We have the Crowning, Initiation, Thresholds, Birth, Rebirth, and a Seat at the Table. And we have Love. Love, a steadfast embrace of the heart, flows through and from you at all times for all time. And then we have Companions, and we have the Air Elements. Now, this could also be related to Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini energy. Those could be your, sun sign placements or significant energies in your birth chart. So maybe like your moon sign or your rising sign, something that is significant within your birth chart. But also, we'll get into this actually. Put that card on pause. We'll come back to that. But if those are significant energies for you, that can be confirmation that you chose the right group, but you don't have to be. We'll get into what this card means for your reading in just a second. Okay. Now, I will say this is a very, very beautiful spread, Group 1. This is a lovely energy to kick off your new year. I feel like there's a lot of beautiful balance here, and I think it comes from this idea that you're very focused on the energy of love throughout the entire month. So that doesn't just mean romantic love, although we have cards here that suggest that, but I feel like you're doing everything from a place of love. You have this attitude when you wake up in the morning where it's not like I have to do X, Y, and Z. It's like I get to do X, Y, and Z. So there's this energy of gratitude that I feel like you're pouring into your life, and because you're doing things with love, you're getting more love back. And so I feel like for you all, this perspective shift is manifesting a lot of blessings in your life in January. You know, it feels like a really good month, but part of what makes it such a good month is that you yourself are showing up in your life in, I feel like, a much more empowered state. It feels like with this Ace of Pentacles here, like you're taking back, it's not necessarily like taking back control of your life, but you're taking back power over your own mood. You know how it feels like sometimes life gets us down, things are really uncertain, things are coming in at us quickly, we're trying to adjust, trying to recalibrate constantly, and then you just kind of feel like you're almost like a victim to your own circumstances, like you're trying to stay optimistic, but things just keep coming at you and you feel really worn down. I feel like you're cultivating this sense of doing everything, like I said, through love, through the lens of love, and you're looking at everything that's going on in your external environment as an expression of love from the universe. So even if you don't understand it, even if it feels like tough love, you're just taking it in stride. And so you're kind of reclaiming power over your own mood, how you feel on a day-to-day basis. So are you happy every single day, every single minute? No. But I feel like you're able to accept things, I think, a lot easier. And so you're not having these dramatic shifts in your mood where you're really, really happy and euphoric, and then you feel really, really down the next second because something has happened. You know, I feel like you're at a really beautiful, stable baseline. And like I said, you're taking things in stride. And so I feel like in terms of your mood, you know, in terms of how you just feel, you have so much more balance. You know, there's not these like really high highs and really low lows. And it feels nice. It feels stable. It feels secure. You know, emotionally, I feel like this is your most stable month that you'll have had in a really long time. So I think emotionally, this is a really great month for you. Now, with this Six of Cups, and then these two cards here, Helper of Emotion and Two of Emotion, I mean, this really does feel like a month for romantic love. So if you are single, I would not be surprised if you meet somebody that you are very much into. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a soulmate reunion with the Six of Cups and the Helper of Emotion and Two of Emotion all being here. Would not be surprised at all. And I feel like if you're already in a connection with someone, this is you bringing more romance back into the dynamic, you know? Appreciating each other, showing each other that you love each other, you know, showing gratitude for the connection. This could be where people get proposed to, engagements happen. Maybe you are actually having your wedding in January. But it definitely feels very romantic regardless of your current love situation. Romance, love, affection, all of that sort of sweetness is coming back into your life or is growing stronger. Okay. And we'll get some zodiac signs at the end of your reading. So if you are single, that can give you a bit of a hint as to who this new love interest could be. And with this feeling that the craving insists you've never eaten in your entire life once, I feel like you're motivated, right? You're ambitious. You have this feeling that you want to make positive changes in your life. You want to show up in your life in a more positive way, and you're doing that 100%. But I also feel like it's not from a place of desperation. It's not from a place of lack. You know, sometimes when people are so ambitious, they get really tunnel visioned. They can't really see or think about anything else, you know, and it's partly kind of motivated by this stress or this need for external validation. It's not always necessarily a positive thing to be ambitious. It can take a toll on your mental health. It can be fueled by perfectionism, and this need to, like I said, validate yourself in some way, gain approval in some way. And for you all, that's not the feeling. It's like, yes, I want to better myself. Yes, I'm wanting more. Yes, I'm starting to understand that I've got to start asking for more to get more. This feeling of like, I don't want to settle. But it's not from a desperate place. It's from a place of feeling inspired. It's from a place of love, like we were talking about before, and appreciation and gratitude for every little step of progress, of positive progress that you make. And so, again, there's this energy of sweetness throughout your entire reading here, an energy of sweetness. So I feel like you're enjoying the journey. You're savoring every moment, because I feel like you have enough wisdom to know at this point in your life that this kind of moment of seeking something, of working towards something, whether it's in your love life, your professional life, your self-development, all of it, this is what you're going to romanticize. This is what you're going to feel nostalgic about when you look back. People really do, when they reach a certain point of success, go back and remember the beginning. And they remember it fondly, even if it was a struggle. So I feel like you kind of understand that these are the moments you're really going to value when you are on top, when you do get to that place of achieving your goal. So what I mean by this, if we're talking about love, when you end up, like let's say you're single in January starting out, and you want to improve your love life, and you do meet somebody, and it does turn into a long-term stable connection. When you look back, once you get into that committed relationship, a lot of the times we look back and we remember very fondly that first date, those initial conversations. And even though at that time, maybe we were nervous, maybe we were scared, maybe we were anxious about, is this going to work out? Do they like me? Is this person right for me? Can I trust them? There's all this doubt and insecurity that can come up in a new connection. Things are delicate, in the words of Taylor Swift. But I think when we get into that stable long-term connection, so many of us look back very fondly at that time. And we may even want to relive it. Man, I wish I could go back to the magic of that first date. Even though when we were living it, it felt really scary. When we look back on it, we're like, man, that was the beginning of it all. And it feels really special. So I feel like you have enough wisdom to know that you're at the point of a lot of beautiful beginnings in your life through this, change in your perspective here. It's opening up a lot of doors for you. And so I feel like you're smart enough to know at this point, in the future, when you have achieved your goals, you're going to look back at this point in time and feel very nostalgic about it. You're going to miss it. There is a romanticism to striving for something. We all love the story of an underdog for a reason. We all love the story of the journey. When you read a novel, the hero doesn't get everything they want in chapter 2. That's not much of a story. And I think you're smart enough to recognize that at this point. So I think this is going to be a month that you look back on fondly. You're going to see that this is the month where a lot of seeds start to blossom for you. And you can see how if you continue to nurture these new beginnings in your life through the lens of love and not desperation, you're going to get exactly what you want, exactly what you prayed for. And it's going to feel so special. And with this, trust your intuition, she's always right. And set your intentions with your heart and soul. This is you being brave enough to ask for more. You being brave enough to know that you deserve more. you feeling brave enough to open up your heart to receive more. You being bold enough to have hope and faith. And you know in your heart of hearts with your intuition here that you deserve this. You deserve all of this sweet energy. You deserve all of this love in your life. Because this really feels like falling in love with your life again. Like I said, it's a very beautiful energy for January. And the crowning, initiation thresholds, you are on the threshold, the precipice of getting exactly what you've been wanting. You've let go of a lot. You know, I feel like you've been in a cocoon kind of stage for a while now. So this feels like you starting to bloom and open up again. This feels like a very heart-opening month. A seat at the table. I feel like you are taking your place as a co-creator of magic in your own life. You know, it no longer feels like, here's me, and here's my spirit guides, here's the universe, my spiritual team, and they are determining things for me in my life, and I'm trying to emotionally cope with what's being thrown at me. So I'm high, I'm low, I'm high, I'm low, I'm high, I'm low. It's not like that. There's no more separation. You have a seat at the table. You finally start to understand it was never meant to be this dynamic where they're throwing things at you and you just have to adjust. It was always meant to be a conversation between the both of you. So I feel like you're starting to understand the power of your mind, the power of your intentions, the power of your intuition. You're starting to understand your role in creating the story of your life. And with this Companions card here, I really feel like if you were resonating with that message of being single and a new love coming into your life, I wouldn't be surprised if it starts off as a friendship and then develops into something more. I will also say with Companions card, this could be the month where if you've been wanting to adopt a pet, you've been wanting to have a new pet in your life, or you could just be connecting with, you know, a stray that you've been feeding outside, or a stray that comes across your path. You know, sometimes animals choose us, you know, and you're not planning on having a pet, but, you know, you fall in love with them. And this could also be talking about you having more time to spend, you know, with your current fur baby. You know, if you have a pet that you love very much, I feel like you two are really connecting this month. Or if you have multiple animals, you know, there's a real sense of connection there. I feel like you're slowing down. It's like you're achieving more, but you're slowing down at the same time. It's like this energy of working smarter, not harder. Of understanding the benefits of rest. Of understanding the benefits of balancing the masculine and the feminine. Taking action and resting. Going after something versus just receiving. So yeah, I think with Companions card here too, this is also talking about you connecting more with your sense of instinct, your sense of intuition. There's just a real gentleness here. And I think that you're starting to understand the importance and the value of taking care of yourself, of being gentle with yourself. There's an easiness here. I feel like you are starting to become your own best friend. You know, you're starting to talk to yourself and show love for yourself the way you would a close friend or like your fur baby. So, you know, definitely being more gentle with yourself. And I just want to make clear to you all, Group 1, in January, it may start off as a slower month. It really might, because I feel like it's this perspective shift, it's this shift in your mood, how you regulate yourself emotionally, how you respond to your external environment. Sorry, Gracie was hissing at Tallulah. My 2 cats were getting into it. So you're gonna see a little bit of a jump cut. But what I was saying is this month is going to start off feeling slower. But the thing is that the change starts within you, how you show up in your life. So there is a lot of change happening, but it's all internal in the beginning of January, so it feels slower. But all of that gains momentum. So I feel like, you know, mid-January to the end of January, that's when you start to see a lot of changes in your external environment, because that's what I was talking about, like that co-creation with spirit. So the universe, your guides are responding to this change within you. You showing up in your life differently, you doing things from a place of love and desire, and, you know, coming forward with this real sweet energy towards your life, this gentleness towards yourself, being your own best friend. All of that gains momentum. And so the universe responds to that. So then you see these external changes in your life that you've been hoping and wishing for. So it starts with you. And don't underestimate the power of those internal changes, because they are significant. So it feels like not a lot is happening, but really everything is happening, and it's setting you up for the latter part of the month to be exactly what you've been hoping for. And with this air element, this is you having a much more lighthearted energy. You kind of flowing through life, you having a sense of curiosity. We do have the cat here as well, a sense of curiosity. A sense of, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm open to it. I'm open to it. I feel like you're open to the mystery of life a lot more than you have in the past. I feel like you're curious. You're curious about yourself, and you're curious about life again. Like I said, it feels like you've been in this cocoon stage, and now you're opening your heart up. You know, you're allowing yourself to bloom again. You're allowing yourself to be open again. So this could be the month where you get out of the house more, where you're open to making new friends, where you're open to trying new hobbies, you're open to changing up your routine. And it can be very small, simple little things like, you know, I typically stay at home. I don't really get out very much. You know what? Once a week, I'm gonna go to the bookstore. Once a week, I'm gonna, instead of getting my groceries delivered, I'm gonna go out shopping for groceries. Or I'm gonna go try out, a little bakery in town. I'm not gonna go to the usual places that I typically eat at. I'm gonna mix it up. Just small little ways that you're open to change, that you're open to treating yourself more, that you're open to doing something differently. It's going to have a huge positive impact on your life. And I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles here, you're feeling a lot more secure. It's like I'm open, I'm flowing, but I'm also grounded. I'm also grounded. I'm also rooted. And so there's this feeling of being lighthearted, of being weightless, of not being bogged down. And again, it's not like toxic positivity where you're happy in every single moment, but it's again from a place of love. From a place of love. So when things are good, you have a sense of gratitude. And when things feel bad or tough or challenging, it's this attitude of like, okay, I'm gonna feel what I need to feel. But once that has passed, I'm not gonna wallow in it. I'm gonna say, what was that teaching me? What was the purpose behind that? And if I can't figure it out right now, that's okay. But we're gonna move on. I'm not gonna take it personally. I'm not gonna feel like I'm being punished, by the universe here. I'm understanding that everything the universe does in my life is from a place of love. So I'm going to match that. So even if I don't understand it right now, I'm going to say thank you and keep moving. And so you feel a lot more secure because you feel like, hey, the universe has my back. And maybe you've said that before, but you never really understood what it meant until this month. So yeah, I feel like a lot of beautiful changes coming into your life, but it's starting with you. It's starting all with you in the month of January. Okay. Let's go ahead and get your Astro Dice now, and we'll get your Spirit Cat message. I want to read this card first, and then we'll get into your Astro Dice. We have balance. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's been a pretty common theme throughout your whole reading here. It says, meet Vero Tiptoe Sky. She can balance perfectly with an inner precision and assurance. She leans one way and then the other, constantly adjusting and learning where her center lies. She understands the dichotomies, work and play, togetherness and solitude, inner reflection and outward expression, striving and letting go, accepting and changing, freedom and discipline, reason and intuition, spiritual expansion and grounding. They go on and on. Let Vero help you to see what areas of your life are out of balance and what shifts you can make to return to a graceful equilibrium. Yeah, so it's not about being happy in every single moment. It's about finding balance. Finding balance, so better emotional regulation. So like we said before, you're not having these high highs and these crippling lows. It's a new beautiful baseline for you with this balance energy. And like we talked about before, balancing the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. We'll start off here with 3 zodiac signs that will be most significant in your life in January 2024. Okay, we have a Gemini energy to start. So that's confirmed as well with the air element because Gemini is an air sign. Okay, we've got Scorpio here. That's a water sign. Okay, and we've got Pisces here. And Pisces, I always say, is like the air sign of the water signs, which is really cute, considering your other 2 signs that we just got. Okay, so Scorpio, Pisces, and Gemini. We'll leave that there. Let's see what areas of your life are going to be most significant in January 2024. We've got the 8th house. So this is also Scorpio energy again. I really feel like because the 8th house can talk about the occult and it can talk about mysticism and our deep inner world. You know, Scorpio is a very private energy. We don't share it with everyone, you know, sort of our emotional depths. So I think this is you doing some self-reflection this month. And like we were talking about before, better emotional regulation, but I also feel like you're feeling more connected to spirit. And I feel like you're seeking a lot of guidance through spiritual practices in January. Okay, we got the 12th house, Pisces. It's really cool how your houses and your zodiac signs are lining up here. Pay attention to your dreams. There could definitely be some signs and synchronicities happening for you, a lot of psychic downloads. I feel like Spirit is really trying to guide you through the month of January, trying to help you out in a lot of ways. And I think going more with what feels right versus what just looks good on paper. Not saying you have to abandon practicality completely, but I do think leaning into what brings you a sense of love is going to benefit you the most in January. And you know, get artistic, get creative. I feel like it's the month for self-discovery, and I feel like creative expression is a great way to do that. The 8th house again. So yes, the 8th house, very significant. So, you know, also If you've never been someone who's been into astrology, or if you haven't delved into that in a while, I think take a look at your birth chart. Revisit your birth chart if you haven't looked at it in a while. I'm hearing for some of you, there's some real clues in your birth chart that are gonna help you in January understand yourself better and the direction you want to take in your life, especially focused on, you know, what do I wanna do in 2024? What's gonna be my main sense of focus? What's going to help me stay in this energy of love? Now, for you all, because we got that message about your birth chart, let's see which placements in your birth chart are going to be most significant for you in January 2024, and where Spirit wants you to, again, look at your birth chart or revisit your birth chart. And if you've never looked at your birth chart before, I usually use, I think the site is called Astro Charts, but there's so many different ones you can use. And I think there's another one called Cafe Astrology, I want to say. You can definitely look up your birth chart for free online, and there's plenty of astrology channels on YouTube that can break down each and every placement for you. You know, and obviously you can get a professional reading done by an astrologer as well. Okay. Which parts of Group 1's birth chart do they need to focus on or understand better in January 2024, Spirit? Okay, we have your South Node. Now, your South Node is always the opposite sign to your North Node. So your South Node, I've had it described to me as, in your past life, you were really good at this role. Almost like you were typecast if you were an actor. You're really good at being in this energy. But in this lifetime, you're meant to get away from that and expand and learn something different. And so you're meant to embody the North Node energy and let go of that South Node energy, because yes, you're good at it, but you've grown stagnant and your soul wants to expand and learn more. So I think it would also be helpful to look at your North Node just to see where you're meant to go once you leave that South Node energy behind. And like I said, it's always the opposite zodiac sign. So my South Node is in Gemini, but my North Node is in Sagittarius. So I would, you know, need to let go of that Gemini to step into the Sagittarius energy. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, and we have Neptune here. So yes, pay attention to your dreams for sure. But Neptune. Okay, let's see what else we have. Oops, and now we have Pluto. Okay, it's interesting because I was expecting more of your inner planets and we're getting more of the outer planets. But I mean, maybe if you're very familiar with your inner planets, more attention needs to be called to those outer planets. But yeah, look at your Pluto. Interesting. Because usually our Pluto placement, well, not usually, our Pluto placement isn't just for us, it's for our, you know, our generation, those who were also born, you know, within a certain number of years. I don't know exactly how many years, but you know, people who were born in 1993 like I was have their Pluto in, I think, Scorpio. All right, that concludes your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope it brought you some comfort. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, or subscribing. Hitting the notification bell lets you know whenever I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to watch the ads. I know they can probably be a little bit annoying, but you can always mute them and just have them on in the background. So I really appreciate anyone who does that as well. I also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has watched the ads already, been a regular viewer, donated on Venmo, tipped with SuperThanks, or just commented or liked a video. It means the world to me and to Miss Gracie, of course. I'm wishing everyone the best as always. Please take care, and I hope to see you in my next reading. welcome to your January 2024 prediction. So I'm going to give you an overview of your cards and then we'll get into the messages. So we're starting off with the Five of Compacts, which is the Five of Pentacles in this deck. We have the Four of Wands, we have the Guardian of Abundance. It says, this is a time of great success for you. All your plans are blessed and will move forward perfectly. Unexpected job opportunities arise in the near future. Make sure to accept them. This card indicates that someone with an amazing career is involved in the situation. This is a powerful person with great integrity who enjoys hard work. This person could be you. And then we have embrace those around you. Whoops. It says, this is a time of great spiritual growth for you, making it even more important to surround yourself with those who love you and share your beliefs. Be willing to accept help from others. You could find comfort in traditional solutions, or your heart may long to try out new ideas. And then we have open, say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life. We have prosperity, know that you deserve all things wondrous and believe you can have them. And then we have nightlight, we have devotion, we have that feeling when you dance like nobody's watching, live colorfully. We have that feeling when your grandparent invites you into a sacred ritual, learning a family recipe. And then we have yay, celebrate yourself, you deserve it. And then we have release self-doubt, let go of fear. And at the end of your reading, we'll get into some Astro Dice. And we will also read your Spirit Cat message. Okay. I remember when I was laying out your cards and I was looking, before I saw anything else, I was looking at this Five of Pentacles next to the Four of Wands, and I thought, what a funny combination of energy. Because the Five of Pentacles isn't just a card about financial struggle. It's a card where, and y'all know if you've been watching my channel for a minute, this is probably my least favorite card in the tarot. Don't worry, group 2. I don't want you to be concerned about this energy, but the difficulty with this card isn't just that, financially you're struggling or things feel unstable. It's also that you lack support. So even when you've been supportive of other people, or you expect that you'll have certain help, even if it's just emotional support, and you don't get it, and you feel really lonely and isolated at a really dark, difficult time, or even worse, people are being judgmental, using it as an opportunity to kick you when you're down, take advantage of you. It's tough. So it's like, not only would this be a difficult energy just with the financial aspect of it or the lack of security or stability, but also I don't have support around me, even in the form of just emotional support. And I shouldn't say just emotional support because it's very important to have that. But I think that's what makes that card so difficult. But for you all, it's next to the Four of Wands and the Guardian of Abundance, and embrace those around you. So it's like, listen, in January, that Five of Pentacles energy is out the door for you. It's out the door. We're done with that. Because with the Four of Wands, we have stability. We have a sense of home. We have a sense of togetherness. We have people to celebrate with us. And so you may not have all of that at the start of January, but I think by the end of the month, you have fully cleared out this Five of Pentacles. And with the Four of Wands, you have stability, you have security, but you also have support, and you have people who want to celebrate your success. And with the Guardian of Abundance, you know, if you've been unemployed for a while, if you've been struggling at a dead-end job, you've been wanting to change, financially, you've been just living paycheck to paycheck, things are getting better. Your hard work is paying off. You are moving forward. There are unexpected opportunities coming in. And you're going to get to a place where you do feel abundant, not only in terms of your financial, physical, material resources, but also in terms of the people that you have around you. And so maybe you're starting a new job and you end up finding that sense of community with your new coworkers. I mean, they become friends, you know, not just people that you work with. Or the person who hires you becomes a really important mentor for you. Or you start your own business and your following or your customer base becomes a group, a community for you where you feel understood, where you feel like it's mutually beneficial. You feel like you're doing something important. You feel good. And I think, you know, you could be finding a spiritual community, because it says this is a time of great spiritual growth and being around those who share the same beliefs as you. So this may be the month where you finally find people who have the same values as you. And I feel like you've been having to do things on your own for so long. It is a big adjustment to start to ask for help, because help was never an option before. Maybe you asked for help in the past and you didn't get it. Or people, again, use that as an opportunity to kick you when you were down. So I think it's going to be really heartwarming for you that you have people around you who are willing to help, who genuinely support you, who are genuinely happy for you. And it may not be a big community. It may be a really small community. It may just be 1 or 2 people. But 1 or 2 people can make all the difference in the world. And it may be an online community. You know, it may not even be people physically in your life. And I can say, you know, just from my own personal experience with this YouTube channel, I was not expecting people to be as loving and as supportive as they have been. And I've, you know, been through a lot, you know, in terms of just personal changes in my life. And you all have been so understanding and supportive. And it's a rare day when I actually get like a negative, nasty comment. And quite honestly, you all online have been more supportive and I feel like genuinely happy for me throughout everything I've shared with you all than people in my real day-to-day life, quite honestly. And I don't know why that is, but listen, don't underestimate the beauty and I guess how good it feels when you have an online community. You know, I know people say online connections just aren't as, aren't as personal or as rewarding as face-to-face connections, and I get that. But I also feel like sometimes people on the internet, like I said, are more supportive than people you know in your day-to-day life. And I feel like, I don't know exactly why that is, but it can be that way. It really can. So this may be an online community for you as well. Now with this open, say yes, expanding through the extremes, trusting life. I swear I had a reading, I feel like it was a while ago, I want to say it was in December though, where this open card and the 5 of Pentacles came out. I don't remember if it was, you know, this exact deck. I don't know, if you're from that group, if you all can remember which reading it was, it's a very distant memory, so maybe it was early December. But anyway, I remember thinking like, what a perfect combination it was. And same thing here, because 5 of Pentacles is all about expanding through the extremes. 5 of Pentacles is an extreme situation. It's really unstable. You know, in the traditional, you know, like Rider-Waite Tarot that we all refer to quite a lot, that many decks are based upon, there's usually two figures, and they're usually like at least one of them's injured, and they're walking in the snow, and they're outside a church building, and they don't have help. You know, the church is right there. They should have help. They should have sanctuary, but they don't. And so, I mean, it's talking about like homelessness, right? Like poverty. It's difficult. And maybe your situation isn't quite that extreme, but it is pretty intense with the Five of Pentacles. So yes, expanding through the extremes, growing through difficult circumstances. And as trying as the Five of Pentacles is, and I have felt this way in my life, no other card, even the Tower, hasn't made me grow as much as the Five of Pentacles has. And so I feel like you're on the other side of it, especially with prosperity being here. You're getting to the other side of it. You're starting to see the benefit, the beauty that this difficult energy has brought you. Your faith is stronger than ever. And I feel like that's why you have this spiritual growth card. You are spiritually ascending because you have learned through all of this. And you have gotten tougher, you have gotten stronger. And with prosperity here, this is what you're focused on in January. You know, you're gaining back your prosperity. And so, yeah, you're focused on money, you're focused on material wealth, but you're also focused on the things that personally, for you, make you feel prosperous. So it's not going to be the same for all of you watching, but what makes you feel prosperous? Is it good friends? Is it a solid community that shares your beliefs? Is it your spiritual connection? Is it your faith? Is it a certain hobby that you have? What makes you feel prosperous? Because that's what you're devoting your energy to as well. But yeah, like I said, finances are getting a lot better. You're getting so much more stability and security. And you're gonna have real friendships or a real sense of belonging, a sense of home, a sense of community. And a lot of spiritual growth, just to summarize everything we've been talking about so far. And with Nightlight here, this is a feeling of being held, of being protected by the universe. Things have been dark and uncertain with that Five of Pentacles, but the whole time you were being divinely guided and protected, even when it didn't feel like it. And so that energy is continuing. And so I almost feel like Spirit is gently bringing the light back into your life and slowly waking up your soul again. Like, come on. You know, it's time to stand up, dust yourself off, lick your wounds, and get back up, little fighter. That's what I'm hearing, get back up, little fighter. Like, it's time. And so I feel like maybe prior to January, it was a feeling of like hibernation, self-restoration, trying to get things back in order, trying to just survive. Whereas January feels like, okay, now we can start to thrive again. We're not just surviving anymore. And with devotion here, what are you devoting yourself to? What is making you feel prosperous? You're fighting for something that is close to your heart here. I feel like you're fighting for what you feel like you know you deserve. Because you deserve more than this Five of Pentacles. And I feel like this is also talking about, again, having people in your life who genuinely are there for you, ride or die kind of people. So it's not like I'm just giving and giving and giving and getting nothing back anymore. I'm finding people who are meant to stay in my life, not people who are just there for a season. And so I think for the first time in a long time, you're going to start laughing again. You're going to start to have fun again. Because when your root chakra and everything that's associated with your sense of security and your sense of stability is out of whack, you don't have like your basic needs met, how in the world can you focus on your mental and emotional well-being? Like I said, you're just trying to survive. And so for those things to be put back in order, for you to have your stability and security again. And not only that, abundance. So going from financial scarcity to abundance, that's a big leap. And so for you to have that happen, it's like, okay, now I can start to focus again on my mental and emotional well-being. I don't have to just be focused on survival anymore. And with this, your grandparent invites you into a sacred ritual, learning a family recipe. This feels like the divine letting you in on a secret. You know, through all of this, like we said, there was a lesson. There was spiritual ascension. It was opening up your heart, leaning into your faith, because what else did you have? With the Five of Pentacles, what else did you have but your faith? So I think you've learned a very important life lesson, some secret to the universe throughout all of this. You have learned what your spiritual team was trying to teach you. And as a result, this abundance is coming in for you. And we have celebrate yourself, you deserve it, release self-doubt and let go of fear. Don't have imposter syndrome when this opportunity or multiple opportunities come in for you. You deserve it. You've been through enough. You have spiritually ascended. Your vibration has risen. It's time to step up and celebrate this win and be proud of yourself for getting this far. And don't be afraid that this Five of Pentacles is going to come back around, because even if it does, you can handle it. You know, I feel like this is an energy that can linger. I think when you've been through this once, you're always, you know, on some level afraid that you're going to experience it again. But I think you can avoid that fear if you can understand you're not that same person. When this happened, you are not that same person. You have grown and evolved so much that even if this energy comes back around again, it's not going to be the old you who is facing it again. It's this new and better and stronger version of you. A higher version of you that has learned some important lessons and will be so much more equipped to handle this energy. So respect your growth. Don't deny or undermine your own self-growth and self-development. You earned it. You earned the right to be proud of yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. All right, group 2, let's go ahead and read your spirit cat message, and then we'll get into your astro dice. We have Wild. Meet Samson. He is a shimmering concoction of wildness and strength. He lives perpetually under the full moon. With limitless abandon, he races over the hills, feeling the perfect harmony of his body, moving unhindered by thoughts. Unfettered by beliefs of who he should be or how he should act, Samson is fully himself, without question or excuse. If you have been the oh-so-proper house cat for too long, step outside and awaken your precious wild self. Unleash your longings and join Samson under the moon's wild light. I feel like, because we talked a lot about you being in a situation where you had a lack of stability and security, and you didn't have your basic needs met, and you were just having to survive for so, you know, however long that Five of Pentacles was in your life, that energy. And now that you have abundance coming in, and you're not just having to just survive anymore, I feel like this is calling back to that feeling when you dance like nobody's watching. you can feel free again. You can have more fun. You can be more playful. You can just do things to have enjoyment and joy in the moment, and not because you're working towards something. You can just be present, not what you should be doing, but what you want to do. Because you have, listen, prosperity, money, stability, security, it buys you freedom. You get more time on your hands. You have more of an ability to have different experiences. When you have money and you're not just living paycheck to paycheck or struggling, you have more freedom. You can buy things to try out, you know, maybe a new hobby you've wanted to do. Maybe you always wanted to paint, so you can buy art supplies. You've always wanted to travel, so you can afford to take a vacation. It buys you freedom. And I feel like you're finally getting some of that back. And you're not so bogged down by money concerns. So emotionally, you feel more free. Okay. Let's start off with your astro dice and just get the top 3 zodiac signs that are going to be the biggest influence in your life in January. So this could be people coming into your life, the people who are going to play a, you know, the biggest role, I guess, in your life, or it could be signs in your own birth chart that are going to be significant. Group 2, January 2024. Okay, we've got Virgo here. Let's get your second sign. That's an earth sign. Okay, we've got, I know it looks similar, but this is Scorpio, a water sign. So earth and water. And we have Taurus, so another earth sign. I'm not surprised to see 2 earth signs coming out, because we have a lot about you feeling grounded, you feeling more abundant, you having more material resources. Taurus enjoys a lot of luxury, and Virgo is quite hardworking, detail-oriented. So I think if you were leaning into those energies in January, it would benefit you a lot. Okay. And with Scorpio, we talked about spiritual ascension, so that makes a lot of sense as well, because Scorpio deals with the occult and, you know, mysticism, the unseen. Okay, I guess we can leave that there. Let's get the 3 most significant houses in your life in 2024 for January, group 2. Okay, we've got the 10th house. That makes a lot of sense. So this is associated with Capricorn, another earth sign. This talks about your status and your reputation. And it talks about your career. So not just your job, but your career, your professional life. And so I think that makes a lot of sense with prosperity being here, more job opportunities coming up, you know, an opportunity for a promotion, a new job entirely, starting your own business. You know, there being positive word of mouth for your business, or positive word of mouth for you in your job. So you get put up for a promotion, or you get to network, and that leads to more job opportunities. And all of this makes a lot of sense to me. Okay. 10th house again. Yeah, Spirit's like, yep. Yep. Everything that was just said, yep. Love that for you. Okay, and we have the 7th house. Really, really beautiful, because the 7th house talks about our interpersonal relationships, our connections, our, you know, social life. And so again, it's not just that material wealth and security, it's also having a sense of community. Having good people around you who celebrate you, who are genuinely happy for you, who are supportive of you, who share the same values as you. We talked about all of this with embrace those around you and the 4 of Wands. So beautiful. Okay, let's get your last zodiac messages here. Group 2, 2024. Okay. So here we have the South Node. Now, Group 1 also had the South Node come up. So with the South Node, this is sort of the energy you're trying to get away from. And it's always opposite to your North Node. So look at your birth chart and see where your South Node is versus your North Node. So mine is in Gemini for my South Node. So the opposite sign to Gemini is Sagittarius. So my North Node is in Sagittarius. So look to see what energy you're meant to get away from and what energy you're meant to be stepping into. So remember, South Node, you want to get away from that. North Node, you want to step into that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I love to see Jupiter here for you because Jupiter is the planet of luck, of expansion, of abundance. It's a lot of people's favorite planet. It's associated with Sagittarius. It's also, in my mind, associated with fame because if you look at a lot of celebrities, and I even noticed this when I did the fun little bonus video about like which female pop star you are, a lot of them were Sagittarius, you know, for their sun placement. So it brings a lot of luck. It can bring fame, you know, like you're 1 in a million. You know, because I mean, how many people end up famous on that level? So it involves some luck. So I think definitely with you having the Guardian of Abundance card here, yeah, I mean, it's a very lucky, abundant, fruitful month for you. I mean, things are getting better, especially compared to that 5 of Pentacles. I mean, yeah, it's a big shift. Okay, and for your last one here, we have Mercury. Mercury is one of my favorite planets. I don't know why, I just love Mercury. But Mercury is a very fast-moving planet, and so I feel like communication is going to be really significant here, but I think communication could be coming in more quickly than what you're expecting. And what I mean by that is, let's say you apply for a job. You don't expect to hear back from them right away, but maybe the same day you get the job offer, or the very next day they call you and ask you to come in for a second interview. So it's like that, like communication is coming in faster than what you're expecting. And I think you're going to have to, you know, maybe have to make some quick decisions. And I feel like that's coming from a lot of opportunities coming in more quickly, or unexpected opportunities coming in. And so I think you're being advised to say yes and to stay open to those opportunities that are coming in. Don't, you know, let your fear get you in the way and where you think, I shouldn't go to the interview because I'm not going to get it anyway. Like, don't miss out on your blessings here. Also, if you've been waiting to hear back from someone, that communication is going to be coming in January. Also, I feel like this is saying this is an area of strength for you. You are good at communication. You are good at speaking, whether you realize it or not. You do have an ability to form the kind of relationships in your personal life. You can find your soul family. You can find your sense of community. You can find solid friendships. You do have that ability, so don't think that you don't. Just because, you know, you've had some negative people in your life before. So don't underestimate, I'm hearing, your own charm and your own charisma. And I think you have a great sense of humor too. All right, that concludes your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope it brought you some comfort. please consider liking, commenting, sharing, or subscribing. Hitting the notification bell lets you know whenever I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to watch the ads. I know they can probably be a little bit annoying, but you can always mute them and just have them on in the background. So I really appreciate anyone who does that as well. I also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has watched the ads already, been a regular viewer, donated on Venmo, tipped with SuperThanks, or just commented or liked a video. It means the world to me and to Miss Gracie, of course. I'm wishing everyone the best as always. Please take care, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Welcome to your January 2024 prediction. So we have the Six of Swords, we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Five of Cups. We have Thinking of You, we have the Breathing Rose, Heart Healing, Emotions, Connection, Time, Eases. We have the Three of Emotions, or the Three of Cups. It says, wonderful news is on its way. Announcements regarding wonderful news is on its way. Announcements regarding engagements, pregnancies, births, or graduations will be revealed. New friends will be made, or communities of like-minded people will draw closer to one another. Exciting new beginnings or happy endings are just around the corner. And then we have Go Within. You are a very intuitive person. I feel like group 3 is always the intuitive spiritual group. I feel like, just generally speaking, I've noticed that trend. But anyway, you are a very intuitive person, and there are many wonderful insights that lie waiting inside you. Take time to be quiet and reflect upon the desires of your heart through meditation or prayer. There's no need to take action right now. Be patient with yourself. And then we have tune into your inner peace. Your reality is a reflection of your inner world. Slow down and rest. You need it. We have manifestation. Turn desires into reality by activating the power of manifestation. We have the Dormouse. We have that feeling when you're ordering takeout with friends and you could eat whatevs except the first 100 suggestions. And then we have that feeling when you wing it in the kitchen and it turns out you're a god. Okay. Now that we've done a quick overview of your cards, let's go ahead and get into your messages. So I'll say, with the Six of Swords, things are getting better. Things are getting better in January for you, for sure. Especially if they've been rocky, especially if things have felt just out of balance, tough, like there's something you want to get away from. Because remember, this card here says exciting new beginnings or happy endings are just around the corner. I feel like for you all, it's both. You know, there's something ending in your life and you're really happy about it. And you also have an exciting new beginning coming with it. Now, here's the catch. Here's the catch. Group 3. With the 5 of Cups being here, there is something that you really got your hopes up about, that you had very high expectations for. And I don't know why I'm feeling called to close my eyes and cover them with my hands, and I didn't even realize I was doing it until like just now. So that's significant. Sometimes I feel drawn to do certain things without, you know, consciously realizing it when I'm doing channeling like this. So there was some aspect of it that you were blind to, that you weren't seeing, or that you were even willfully ignoring. And sometimes that happens. You know, we get our hopes up, we get our expectations up, especially if this is talking about love or even a job opportunity. I could see this being the case. Sometimes we ignore red flags, or we ignore signs that this isn't right for us, just because we have this idea built up in our head of what it could be. And sometimes the allure of what could be, the potential of something, especially when we see it so clear in our minds, it's so hard to let that go. The heartbreak of what could have been, but never was, can be so enticing and very hard to let go of, especially when we were all in and our expectations were so high, our hopes were so high. And then when it doesn't work out, it's definitely God's protection. Rejection is always God's protection. But in the moment, it doesn't feel like the divine is protecting us. It feels like we're being punished. And so that's that 5 of Cups. And so I think in your heart of hearts, because you are an intuitive person, you recognize that, but you still have to come to terms with it, with the 5 of Cups. And so I feel like for a lot of you, that disappointment has already happened. Now, it may be happening in January, but I feel like for a lot of you, it's already happened, and you're coping with it, and you're dealing with it, and you're accepting it for what it is, and you're moving forward. But I do think it's like, okay, whatever that 5 of Cups was, we're letting go of it, but now we need to stop and recalibrate. Because we were wrong. We were off. What we thought was meant for us, what we thought was right for us, wasn't. And we're intuitive enough to get that. But how were we ignoring our own intuition before? You have very strong intuition, but when it came to that 5 of Cups, you weren't using it. So how can we avoid that? And how can we now manifest what we do want? What will be right for us? So with the breathing rose, you're healing from it, and you're understanding all things get better with time through that grieving process. So you're feeling what you need to feel, but we are moving forward with that 6 of Swords towards something better for us. So with this thinking of you card, sorry, I'm a little bit sniffly. With this thinking of you card here, yeah, you're feeling maybe a little bit nostalgic about it. But I also feel like you're moving past that. You know, you're grieving, but you're not wallowing in like self-pity. There's a difference between healthy grieving and just wallowing in emotion. So you're grieving this in a healthy way, and you're starting to focus on you again. Group 3, January is a month of self-reflection for you. And it's really deep self-reflection. And I really like this for you because I feel like January is you getting your game plan together. It's you figuring out where you want to go so you don't repeat the mistakes of the past. So with the Knight of Wands, when it comes to take action at the end of January, you will be fully prepared to take the best possible steps for you. But prior to that, you're strategizing, you're figuring stuff out, you're getting to know what it is that will be best for you. So you're reconnecting with yourself. And so with the Dormouse, you are spending more time at home. You are spending more time cultivating kind of like an inner sanctuary for you. It's very cozy. You know, you're creating a really warm, safe space for you to be able to engage in this deep self-reflection. And you are manifesting. You are manifesting. Whether you resonate with that word or not, if you're more of someone who prays, if you're more of someone who believes in maybe more like divine feminine, like receptivity, that's fine. But you are manifesting, whether it's intentional or not. Through this process of resting, taking care of yourself, making time for self-care, going through this grieving process, being gentle with yourself, reconnecting with your sense of inner peace, that's a big, big thing for you. Inner peace is everything in January for you. It's a very peaceful, calming, cozy, warm month full of self-love, taking care of yourself, healing yourself, going through this grieving process, and starting to understand that your thoughts, what you believe, the intentions that you set have real power with this manifestation card in your reality. And so I feel like, you know, it says, this card here, that feeling when ordering takeout with friends, you could eat whatever except the first 100 suggestions. You're starting to really get critical here. You're starting to be a little bit more picky. You're being a little bit more finicky, and it's working in your favor. You're not just settling for the first opportunity that comes into your life. You're like really being very intentional about what it is you want. And I feel like it's a really freeing experience for you. And this may be the first time that you've ever really tried to manifest, or that you've ever really tried to pray for a miracle, or that you've really done this deep self-reflection, that you've really gone within. But you're doing an amazing job. And listen, this is the month to be very, very careful about what you're thinking, because your thoughts are manifesting in your reality. Your inner world is being reflected in your external world. So be very mindful. You know, it's very much like what you wish for is what you're gonna get. Like, your manifestation ability is so heightened in January. You've never been able to manifest so quickly as you are this month. So just be mindful. And that's why self-care, self-restoration is so important. That's why it's so important for you to pull back your energy. Tune into your inner peace. We don't want you in January being influenced by the energy of others. It's going to get in the way of this manifestation. You don't want to manifest something that's reflective of someone else's energy. You don't want to be overly influenced by the energy of others. You are very highly sensitive this month. And I don't mean, I'm not talking about just like emotionally sensitive. I mean like your energy is sensitive. You're like watercolor. It's the best way I can describe it. Like, other people's energy are like bleeding into yours because you are so highly attuned. You're so tuned in. You need to be in your own wavelength. Be very protective of your energy, protective of your space. Be mindful of who you're around in January. As best as you can. I know we can't control everyone who's around us, especially if it's in your work environment. But, you know, use your protective crystals, do some cleansing rituals when you get home, whatever you can do to really maintain your inner peace. You know, use healthy coping skills like deep breathing, meditation, prayer, whatever spiritual practice resonates best with you, but really stay in your own energy as best as you can, and be very mindful. If you get into a negative thought spiral, you got to do something to break it up, to stop it in its tracks if you start to ruminate on this Five of Cups, the negativity, because we want to manifest the Ten of Cups. We don't want to bring in, you know, more Five of Cups energy. So you have a lot of power this month, but use that power wisely. You know, let it be to your benefit, not your detriment. And I mean, good news is on its way, right? There is a lot of positivity happening, but it's through your manifestation ability. And so I definitely feel like there's a lot happening in the realm of like your romantic life, in the realm of your friendships. There's stuff to celebrate, but you just want to be careful, and you just want to be mindful that you're bringing in what you do want and not what you don't want. So your thoughts have a lot of power in January. This month is what you make of it. You know, you can resist this energy. You can refuse to do the self-care, to do the deep self-reflection. You can refuse to be mindful of your thoughts. You know, you can refuse all of this. But if you want to get to a better place, this is the guidance. You know, if you're not happy with your life, the first thing you do, and you know, maybe it's just one aspect of your life, this Five of Cups, whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of you, but this thorn in your side, if you want your life to be better, it starts with you. It does. So understand your power. Don't minimize or negate your own power. Your message is very straightforward, so I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse here. Okay, we're gonna get your Aster dice, and then first we're gonna read your spirit cat message here. Look at this little cutie. Okay. We have Cuddles. Meet Fluff. She is patiently waiting for you to stop your super important, get it done task and give her lots of love. She assures you that her fur is a cloud of softness that will melt all your thoughts away. Little Fluff, oh my God, this is so cute. This is so precious. Little Fluff is all about savoring the experience of being alive in your body. Time to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect to that lush, tactile world instead. Stretch like a cat until you quiver. Feel the air on your skin and the earth beneath your paws. Cuddle in with this kitty and feel her purrs awaken your heart. I mean, yeah. Little Fluff. There we go. So self-care, disconnecting from the world. I think doing things that help you connect with your inner child. Like I've been coloring a lot lately. I got a planner for the new year, and it's also like a coloring book, so you color the themes for each month. Simple things like that. Whatever helps you reconnect with your inner child could be helpful. You know, like reparenting yourself, being really gentle with yourself. And I think getting out of your head. So to be clear, self-reflection doesn't have to look like overthinking, okay? Self-reflection can also be getting out of your head, getting quiet. And that's what meditation really is, right? It's like we're going within, and yet we're quieting our mind. So self-reflection doesn't have to look like you interrogating yourself. It can be quiet, it can be peaceful, it can be gentle. It doesn't have to feel strenuous. Does it take discipline? Yes, but it doesn't have to feel overwhelming or stressful. It can be gentle. And so, you know, through meditation and prayer, you can engage in self-reflection. And I think there's another deck that I have where it's one of the self-care decks where it says, essentially doing little rituals around the house, you know, our day-to-day chores, quieting our mind and just focusing on the simple task in front of us can allow wisdom to sneak up on us. And so I feel like it's part of that too, like you just being really present in your day-to-day routine, and you developing a day-to-day routine that feels soft, that feels gentle, that feels nurturing. Through that process, wisdom, deep revelations about yourself can come to you with ease. It doesn't have to be like an interrogation of self. Just want to make that clear. It can be gentle, it can be loving. And act like a cat, because that's what seems to be the advice here. You know, do your own thing, be in your own space, be in your own energy. Be cat-like. That will benefit you in January. Okay. Let's start off with the top 3 zodiac signs that are going to be most prominent in your life in January. So this can be other people. This can be, you know, which placements in your birth chart are most significant. It could be confirming your sun or your moon or your rising for us. So let's see. Group 3, January 2024. Okay, we've got Libra energy to start. I love that. I love that, because even if we're talking about a Libra person in your life being significant, I also feel like Libra is the sign of beauty, aesthetic, romanticizing. And I feel like for you all, being in your divine feminine energy is going to benefit you a lot in January. Being receptive, you know, leaning into your intuition, beautifying your life, taking care of yourself, self-care. Okay, we've got Leo. I love Leo for you too, and that's not just because I'm a Leo, but I think working on your self-confidence, believing that you do have the power to manifest the life that you do want. Creative expression can also be a way to go within and engage in self-reflection. Like I said, it doesn't have to be an interrogation of self. It can be fun. It can be playful too. So you can learn something about yourself through creative writing, through painting, sketching, drawing, pottery making. I mean, there's so many, quilting, crocheting, knitting. I mean, anything really, any form of creative expression. There's so many different kinds. Singing, songwriting, all of that can be a way for you to get closer to yourself, understand yourself better. And Leos understand taking care of yourself first better than anybody. To be any good to anyone, you have to take care of yourself first. You know, I mean, people always use that airplane analogy, like you have to put your own mask on first before you can save anyone else if a plane is going down, right? Fundamentals of caregiving. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself. Okay, and we have Capricorn here. I've never been a fan of the Capricorn's like symbol. And I know that's like a silly thing to say, but I've just like never been a fan of it. It's my rising sign actually. But anyway, Capricorn. I do think there has to be an element of self-discipline to this, because I mean, this is going to require you to really get into a routine, if you don't have one already, of self-care, of self-reflection. It's going to require you maybe to set boundaries with certain people, take space from certain people. If they are, you know, a negative influence or draining to your energy in the month of January. Not saying you have to cut them out of your life, but just maybe you need to take space from them so they don't interfere with this manifestation process and this healing, grieving process and this self-reflection process you're meant to go through. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to require some self-discipline. And let's go ahead and get the top 3 houses that are most significant in your life in January 2024. We have the 11th house. This is Aquarius energy, doing something different, doing something revolutionary. Radical self-love, radical self-acceptance. We have the 2nd house, thinking about your material wealth, thinking about what you own, thinking about your material possessions. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you, with you being at home a lot with this dormouse energy, I wouldn't be surprised if you clean out your house, clean out your space, do some reorganizing, get rid of, because it feels like also a process of you kind of lightening your load. And I think physically getting rid of stuff can mentally and emotionally lighten our energy, because we don't feel so weighed down. That's why people feel better after they do like spring cleaning. And I think also if this 5 of Cups was like a breakup or a situationship that didn't work out, even just like clearing out your phone, you know, clearing out messages from that person, clearing out your inbox, you know, your even like emails that have stacked up, you know, deleting maybe certain apps, just clearing up even like your digital footprint, getting rid of any reminders of that person. Sorry, I'm jumping around from message to message here, but you get what I'm saying. Lightening your load, taking stock of what you own, and just, you know, clearing out anything you're not using, clearing out the clutter. Mentally and emotionally is going to make you feel better. And we have the 12th house. You know, I really feel like this is associated with Pisces. I really feel like your intuition, your inner world is everything in January. And you're going to be getting so many psychic downloads in January. Just don't second guess. If you feel like you've been given a sign, don't second guess it. If you're seeing angel numbers everywhere, it's not all in your head. If something even small and innocuous feels like a sign, it is. Trust it. Trust yourself. Okay, we have the moon. This is an uncertain time. It is. Things are in flux. But you have, you're kind of in the dark a little bit in January. But what is on the other side of it is you manifesting exactly what you want. Not with the 5 of Cups, what you think you want, but what deep down is meant for you, is right for you, is good for you, and not you settling or you romanticizing something that was never going to work out. You falling in love with the potential of something that was never the reality of it. You know, you're not tricking yourself anymore. You're not denying your own intuition anymore. And it's a lot of working through your own emotions too. We talked about a grieving process. We talked about heart healing, and that's the moon. And the moon, like what is closest to your heart? What's going to bring you the most emotional fulfillment here? And then we also have this Neptune energy. So Pisces, I would pay attention to your dreams. I would pay attention to your dreams. And then we also have Mercury here. This is coming through for you all as you speaking what you want into existence, understanding the power of your own words, understanding the power of how you talk to yourself, how you communicate with yourself. This came out in another group, but it's coming through in a very different way for you all. Understanding the power of your own words, understanding the power of your own mental space. Your own internal world has everything to do with what you experience in your external environment. So make it a safe space. Make your inner world your sanctuary. With the dormouse, make a home within yourself. All right, that concludes your reading. I hope it resonated. I hope it brought you some comfort. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, or subscribing. Hitting the notification bell lets you know whenever I upload. The easiest way to support the channel is to watch the ads. I know they can probably be a little bit annoying, but you can always mute them and just have them on in the background. So I really appreciate anyone who does that as well. I also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has watched the ads already, been a regular viewer, donated on Venmo, tipped with SuperThanks, or just commented or liked a video. It means the world to me and to Miss Gracie, of course. I'm wishing everyone the best as always. Please take care, and I hope to see you in my next reading.